set to kick it off. Ropes, Randall, and Carter back deep for Casey County's short kick. Heinwood taken to the 25-yard line by an up back. He's going to be hit and dropped after a return of about 10 yards, straight up the middle of the field to about the 35-yard line. That was Eads with the ball for Casey County, and in on the stop for Corbin. Looked like number 35 in there on the initial hit for the Hounds, and I don't have a 35 on my roster. It's a 15, Dylan Brock in on the hit. I'll tell you what, we see Dylan Brock in on a lot of special teams tackles. That kid is just a freshman, and boy, he has got his nose around the football constantly. Good night for football, though. It's a little brisk, but no precipitation in the area. Field looks like a fast track here tonight. Redhounds dressed out in their home red uniforms, turned up in gray pants, silver headgear. Casey County in the white jerseys, light blue numbers, and red pants, white headgears. The quarterback is Hayes, rolling to his left, looks to throw, winds up, fires down the left sideline. Got his man caught at the 50-yard line, hit and dropped immediately, but a nice toss out there to the wide receiver, number 12, Eads, who makes the catch out at the 50, brought down there by a host of Redhounds, but right on the 50-yard stripe. Nice gainer that time of about 16 yards for Casey County, throwing it right off the bat. You know, what you hope if you're a Redhound fan is that the Hounds don't come out flat, because after a tough loss last week, coming in against a team that is 1-7, it would certainly be easy for 16, 17, 18-year-olds to overlook a team that they think they're supposed to beat. And Casey County is a lot better than that 1-7 record. We've mentioned that all year long. Breece Hayes, B-R-E-E-C-E, Hayes the quarterback, rolls to his right, and now he's going to throw off in the right flat, incomplete. Pass intended out there for Bishop, just off his outstretched fingers. Coverage out there by Reedy. Second down and 10 now for Casey County. Just underway here. Dave Cox with the field side. No score as of yet in the football game. First possession of the game for Casey County. Coached by Sam Marple, 1-7 on the year are the Rebels. But again, that is a deceiving 1-7. I looked at their schedule, and they've been in a lot of these games. Even the two games they lost badly to Wayne County and Bell. Now, these were pretty good football games for at least a half. There's a motion penalty going to go against Casey County. As it looks like the right end out here on this side of the formation. Bishop got a little bit of a head start. Flags come down from everywhere, and that will back up the Rebels 5. We'll bring up second down and 15 for Casey County. Corbin will finish up the regular season next week right here at home against Knox Central. Again, not a game that will have any playoff implications at all. Not a district game. Knox Central is a 4A school. Corbin 3A now. But certainly a game that has a lot of bragging rights attached to it around the Tri-County area. They've not played in a long time, and since the last time they played, Knox Central's football program has done a turnaround. They're really good. Hayes back to throw. Here comes the blitz. Going to be hit and dropped all the way back at the 30-yard line. Powers blitzing right up the middle. Takes Hayes down in a pile at about the 35. Big loss on the play. And Casey County's looking at third down and about a half a mile here. They got to make it all the way to the Corbin 40 to pick up the first down, and they're back at their 35 now. So third and about 25 now for the Rebels. Powers looked like he was shot out of a cannon as he came right up the middle untouched, and he was right in Hayes' grill before he had a chance to turn around. Hayes working out of the shotgun, wide outs to both sides. Now they motion out of that, actually 3 wide outs to the right, 1 in the slot. Hayes takes his snap, rolls to his right, looks to dump it off underneath, nearly picked off, incomplete out there. Austin O'Neill played that one perfectly. We'll bring up fourth down and long, but now I see a flag in the backfield. I think they whistled this play dead before it got started. Another motion penalty against Casey County, so they're going to be backed up 5 more yards. But the good news for the Rebels is they get to replay the down. It's going to be third down now and about, I'm going to say about 20. They're going to say third and 31. That was a holding penalty, I guess, because they marked off 10 yards. I thought it was a motion penalty, and it may have been both. Corbin may have chosen to take the hold over the motion. Hayes working out of the gun, takes it. Here comes the blitz again there after him. Dumps it off underneath. Got a man out there, but overthrew him. He took a big shot, did Hayes, when he let it go as Kai Jackson lowered the boom on him back at the 20. Pass intended out near the 40-yard line for number 1 Wyatt Bishop. Overthrew him by about a couple of yards, and Corbin will get it back here. Kopic's going to drop back deep, and let's see who takes Waddle's place on the punt return coverage. That's going to be Kai Jackson dropping back along with Kopic. Jake Kopic, just a junior, Kai Jackson, a senior, 6'2", 187. Kai's a kid that really plays this game the way it's supposed to be played. He goes 110 miles an hour regardless. Davis, the punter, steps into it, gets away. Nice rugby-style kick, end over end. Cotter's going to let it bounce, and then moves away from it. Takes a nice rebel bounce for Casey County. Is going to bound all the way down to about the 32-yard line where the Rebels will touch it down there, and Corbin will take over first down in 10 with their first series upcoming. 10:24 to go here in the first quarter of play. Redhounds with their first opportunity with the football. Corey Taylor's a quarterback. Had a good season. Very solid, very, very heady young man. And again, the Hounds playing without Taylor Waddle tonight. He's probably not going to play. From all indications, and I haven't heard anything official, but from all indications, it looks like he's going to sit out next week as well. Diamond to the right. 4 wide receivers in the diamond shape. They're going to dump it off underneath the Kopic. He's hit and dropped. Read perfectly by the left defensive end. That is number 1, Wyatt Bishop. Caught Kopic just before or just after he caught the football. Drops him for a loss all the way back to the 26-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play. That one was read perfectly by Wyatt Bishop. So both teams start out in very shaky terms here. Corbin with a loss of 8 on their first play from series. Their first play of the series, I should say. A.J. Moore splits wide to the left side. Backs split behind the quarterback, Taylor. He's going to move up under center. And they motion Nance out of there to the right side. Hand it off to Kopic off left tackle. He's into the secondary. It is a foot race. It is a total foot race, and it's going to be Kopic down the left sideline, 30, 20. Nobody. He stumbles on his own. Nobody around him. Regains his balance at the 10. Stumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Kopic. No flags anywhere. 73 yards for Kopic, and Corbin with the gaping hole off that left side. The offensive line giving Kopic lots of room. He cut it up against the grain and made one move and headed up the left sideline for the touchdown. Wow. That did not take long, and the Hounds on top 6-0. Let's see if Corbin can shore up one of the areas that they have not been strong in this year. One of the few areas they've not been strong in, and that has been kicking extra points. Looks like Tulio Cananu is going to be the kicker. He's a left footer. They've tried several guys back there. Jackson Stewart, the holder, snap on the way. Kick is plenty long enough, and it's right down the middle. Good job by Cananu that time. That one looked perfect. A good hold there by Stewart, and Corbin on the board first. 7-0 lead for the Hounds. 9:35 to go in the first quarter. We'll step aside, take a break, then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. Corbin on top 7-0, scoring on their second play from scrimmage, a 73-yard run by Jake Kopic. Extra point good by Tulio Cananu. Cananu's got it teed up at the 40. He is looks to be the kicker record for the Hounds right now. Eads and Bishop back deep for Casey County. They've got a Waddle kid as well. Not Taylor, obviously, but he's back there somewhere as well, milling around. This is going to be Eads who takes it at the 20-yard line, starts right at the center of the field. He's got a little bit of a gap out of the 35 to the 37-yard line where he is wrestled down there. Good starting field position for the Rebels. First down and 10 now for Casey County. Looked like that was number 25 for Corbin. Dylan Brock in there again on that tackle. I think I called him number 15 on the first series. It's 25. But 2 kickoffs, 2 tackles for Brock already. There was a bunch of other Redhounds around on that play as well. But now I'll tell you, Brock is he's around the football. Really like that kid. Just a freshman, 1,674 pounds. Brees Hayes is the quarterback. He's just a freshman as well. Takes a snap, fires down the left sideline. Is going to be intercepted. Diving interception out there by Austin O'Neill at the 40-yard line. Great play that time by O'Neill. He was running stride for stride with Patterson down the right sideline. They just threw it up for grabs, did Hayes, hoping that Patterson could out-jump O'Neill, but O'Neill had it played perfectly. Austin with the interception, I believe his 3rd of the year, and Corbin gets it back 1st and 10 at their own 40. Really nice play that time by Austin O'Neill. You know, early in the year, he deflected a lot of passes, had a lot of breakups, and got a couple of interceptions. And then teams started going away from him just a bit and not thrown at him as much, and really just haven't had as many opportunities. Taylor moves up under center again, backs set in an eye behind him. Nance directly behind him. Looks like Powers on the back of that eye. They're going to give it off to, that's Jackson. Kai Jackson takes it, burst off the right side, cut down after a gain of about 7 all the way out to the 45-yard line. Let me tell you something else. Kai Jackson's a kid that gets to the hole in a hurry. He does not wait around. When he knows it's his turn, he comes out of there on the sprint. 7-yard gain for Kai makes it second down and 3 for Corbin. Well, actually going to make it second and 4. They placed him down at about the 44. This time back split behind Taylor, the quarterback. He's going to turn, quick pitch left side of the short side of the field. That's going to be Kopic. He turns it up, picks up the first down, hurdles a tackler at the 50, and then tiptoes out of bounds into Casey County territory down near the 43-yard line. Good run that time by Kopic, just picking his way. That's one thing I've noticed about Jake as opposed to last year. Now, he didn't carry it as much last year, obviously, as he has this year, but, boy, he has just became such a patient runner. Had he just lowered his head and burrowed into the pile, he would have gotten a couple of yards that time and probably wouldn't have picked up the first down. But instead, he let his blockers do their job out in front of him, then he just picked his way for a gain of about 8 or 9. First and 10 for Corbin from the 47-yard line of Casey County. Handoff right side. Jackson again bangs it off right tackle, hit at the line of scrimmage, shakes it a couple tacklers and gets it down to about the 43. Gain of about 4 will bring up second down and 6. Well, let's call it second down and 7 now for Corbin. They don't really give Kai a great spot that time. I think a lot of that is a byproduct of Kai's going so fast. He runs so hard. When he hits, he kind of bounces a little bit. And they mark him down, as they should, on the initial hit to the ground. Taylor moves up under center. Quick pitch right side, this time to Kopic. He's got some blockers out front. Stumbles, loses his footing with nobody around him at the 45, and does lunge forward down to about the 42-yard line. Would have had the first down easily. A really good block out front by Brian Nance. But Kopic just lost his footing. We saw him do that on a long touchdown run, too. He was running 10 yards ahead of everybody, lost his footing at about the 10-yard line, managed to regain himself and get it into the end zone. But that's twice tonight that he has slipped. I want to take a look at his cleats. Got a timeout on the field, and it looks like Casey County is going to talk things over. 7:46 to go, third down and 4 upcoming for Corbin, working from the 42-yard line of Casey County. We'll step aside and take a break as well. Corbin on top 7-0, but driving when we return. Stick around. This is Redhound football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, 7-0, Corbin on top, 7:46 to go in the first quarter of play. Timeout taken by Casey County, trying to stem the momentum here of Corbin just a bit. Hounds have got a third down and a long 4, probably in 4-down territory here, just shy of the 40-yard line. Taylor fumbles the snap, big pile up, now he picks it up. It's going to be Kopic that comes out of there with the loose ball, then he is hit and dropped for a big loss back at the 50-yard line. Taylor may have backed out of there just a bit early. The ball was loose on the turf, and Kopic stepped in front of Taylor, picked up the football, and was wrestled down after a big loss. So Corbin now looking at a 4th down and about 11. Hounds quickly hustle their punt team out onto the field, and Taylor will kick it away. Looks like that is Eads back deep for Casey County. He's standing about his own 20-yard line. Corbin hustling players out onto the field. A little bit of confusion there on the Corbin line. I don't think they were expecting to have to punt that thing this quickly. Taylor now gets everybody settled, takes the snap, sprints to his right, looks, still looks. He's going to keep it. He finally kicks it. Boy, he kicked that thing really close to the sideline. He's going to boom this one all the way into the end zone, I believe. Yes, it did. It rolled across the end zone. I'll tell you, Taylor was so close to that to the line of scrimmage. He ran it all the way. He kicked to the 50-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 48, so he was only 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. I saw a flag come down. The official may think that he had gotten across that line. Well, I take that back. The ball was marked at the 50. The first down marker, the initial first down marker, was at the 48. So he was across the line when he kicked it, I believe. I think that's a good call by the official because he kicked that thing right on the 50-yard line, and that's where the ball was previously marked at. So Corbin's going to be backed up, and Casey's going to ask them to kick it again. 6:46 to go here in the first quarter. Play 7-0. Wow. Okay, well, now Casey changes their mind. They declined the penalty. They're just going to take it 1st and 10 at the 20, it looks like. Well, that's a bit surprising. Corbin would have had to kick it from the 40, their own 40. I guess it's probably about a wash. Coach Marple probably did not want to have to handle another punt, I suppose. But the Rebels get the football 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing 7-0. 6:46 to go in the first. Hayes moves up under center. He's got Luna and Eads split behind him. And off left side, it's going to be Eads. Bangs it off for a yard or maybe two to about the 22-yard line. Dylan Adams in on the hit for Corbin, and also in there was Dalton Anderson, number 46. Second down and a long 8 now. Clock continues to wind down. 6:20 to go in the first quarter of play. Hounds on top 7-0. Looking up and down the schedule here for Casey County. Lincoln County game, 35-13. Again, close game at the half. They got beat by Taylor County 19-18. Lost 23-0 to Garrett County, 29-6 to Metcalf. They've been in almost every football game with the exception of the 2 blowouts, and those were pretty close games at the half. Hayes rolls to the right. He's being chased out of the pocket. Dumps off. Picked off by Adams down the left side. Now he's got nothing but green grass. Touchdown, Corbin. Dylan Adams runs it in. Touchdown, Hounds, and a pick 6 thrown that time by Hayes, and Corbin back on the scoreboard, 13-0. Roy Bullock, my good buddy. Haven't seen him in a long time. He come up here and brought me some hot chocolate. Well, it's good to see you, Roy. Appreciate you, buddy. Roy always takes care of us during basketball, and here he is tonight on Hall of Fame night. Brought me a couple cups of a good hot chocolate. We sure appreciate you, buddy. All right, that's a good man right there, Roy Bullock. We appreciate him. He brought 2. I guess he thought I had a partner with me tonight, so I'll just have to drink them both. I could give one to our film man right here. He might want a cup of hot chocolate. We'll share with him as well. So Adams picks it off, runs it into the end zone. Now we've got a penalty. I think I'll take that back. He did run it in for the end zone. I got tied up there with Roy in the hot chocolate, and I did not see the flag on the far side of the field. They're calling an illegal block in the back, so they're taking the points off the board. They had already put the points on the board. Corbin up 13-0. Corbin had their extra point team headed out onto the field, and when I looked back onto the field, they were actually marching it back to about the 15, 16-yard line. So there was an illegal block in the back. I apologize. So Corbin's going to have it 1st and 10 at the 16. Still leading 7-0, but the pick 6 nullified by a block in the back. I don't know who made the block because Adams was going in regardless. He did not need a block that time. Here's a pass off the right side, intended for Moore, incomplete. Taylor with a one-step drop, fired it off in the right flat to Moore over his head. And I just did not see it because there was nothing that anybody could have done to prevent Adams from taking that into the end zone. He did not need a convoy. He picked it off and was wide open to the end zone. So somebody away from the ball committed a silly play. Corbin leads 7-0, 5:50 to go in the first. Dave Cox with you here, field side. Kopic and Reedy split wide to the right side. A.J. Moore and Nance in the slot to the left. Moore in the backfield with Taylor. Taylor takes the snap, leaves it with Jackson on the jet sweep. Jackson takes it, cuts it up the right side, stiff arms one, loses the football, fumbles it out of bounds. Well, he made the cut around the corner there, got just inside the 10 to about the 7, and the ball just squirted out of his hands. Nobody around him, but luckily for Corbin, it went out of bounds. Looks like about the 4, maybe 5-yard line. It should be enough for the first down, so Corbin will have it 1st down and go from near the 5-yard line. Seen some strange things already. Kopic almost went down running for the end zone at about the 10-yard. It looked like he tripped over the 10-yard line, but managed to regain his balance and stumbled into the end zone. And this time, Kai Jackson turned the corner, looked like he was going into the end zone, and just lost the handle on the football. Taylor moves up under center. Turns, leaves it off, second back through. That's going to be Nance, I believe, lowers his head, takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Corbin. Actually, it wasn't Nance, it was Kai Jackson. Nance was at the back of the pile pushing him forward, so the touchdown goes to Kai Jackson. Dylan Adams had his interception return for a touchdown wiped off, but Jackson gets it right back for the Hounds. So Corbin now back out to the 13-0 lead. 5:38 to go here in the first quarter of play. Cannonu in to attempt the extra point. Jackson Stewart is the holder. Cannonu, a left-footed kicker. Sizes it up, steps into it, pounds it right down the middle. Cannonu looks good on 2 attempts here tonight. Corbin extends their lead 14-0. 5:38 to go in the quarter. We'll step aside and be right back. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Eads and Randall back deep for Casey County. Cannonu steps into it. High, short, end-over end kick. Going to be taken by Randall on the run at the 20. Starts up the center of the field, breaks a tackle or two, lowers his head. Then he's going to be driven to the ground at about the 35-yard line. Good run back that time by Randall. And getting up off the bottom of the pile is number 13. That's J.B. Chadwell. And I think number 14 also in there, Cody McCart. Been pretty good field position for Casey County every time they've had it at the 30 or better. Each of their three possessions just unable to get anything going against this Corbin defense. They've thrown it much more than they've ran it. Bryce Hayes, just a freshman quarterback, good size kid. They've got him listed at 6'2", and I believe that's probably about right. Rolling to his right, looks to throw. They're after him in the backfield. He's going to be hit and drop for a loss back at the 30-yard line. That is going to be Powers that will get credit for the sack. But big number 52 in there, Kevin Mendel, was causing a lot of problems first, really caused him to tuck the football and run, and chased him right into the arms of Powers. Loss of 5 on the play, 2nd and 15. Mendel won't get credit for that sack officially, but he was the one that disrupted the play. He blew it up from the get-go. Williamsburg, Linn-Camp, South Laurel, North Laurel, Pulaski Southwestern, Pulaski County, Middlesboro, Somerset. That's 4 pretty good rivalries going on tonight here in southeastern Kentucky. Try to get you some scores updated here shortly. Back throw is Hayes. Pass incomplete, batted down from behind, but flags come down from everywhere. Is pretty sure pass interference is going to be called on the Hounds. Yeah, Kyle Eads, the intended receiver there, and Eads was peppered pretty good from both sides. Automatic first down for Casey County as they mark it off up over the 40 out to about the 47-yard line. No Kentucky football on your radio tomorrow as the Wildcats played last night at Mississippi State. Did not get the win, but I think probably a much better showing. And if you're watching the game, you'll know the play I'm getting ready to talk about. It was 3rd down and 1. They crowded the line of scrimmage and made a direct snap to Sanders. He burst through the line, picked up the first down, and got behind everybody and was going. It looked like he was going for what was going to be the game-winning touchdown, and a shoestring tackle brought him down. And that's just kind of the, I guess, the way Kentucky's season has went, because he just as easily could have sidestepped that, gained his balance and taken it on in for the win, but gets tripped up. Kentucky ends up losing by 6, I guess. Well, it was not an automatic first down. I take that back. They're going to mark it just at the spot of the foul, so he's going to be about a half a foot short of the first down, so it's 3rd and less than a yard from the 47-yard line. Hayes moves up under center. The big quarterback turns, leaves it with his first back through, hit and dropped at the line. I don't believe he got it. That's number 1, Wyatt Bishop, the ball carrier. He may have lost a half a yard unless he gets a good spot from the official, which it looks like he's going to get. He does, and they will move the chains. Pretty gracious spot there from the officiating crew. They're going to eyeball it, and have not told the chains to move yet. It looks like they may measure here. Now they're having a big discussion. Oh, I see a flag way, way over in front of the Corbin bench on the far side of the field. You know, these are good guys. I know a bunch of folks. I'm not going to mention any names. I know a bunch of the folks on this officiating crew are good guys. And I've called baseball with 1 or 2 of them throughout the years back in the day. But they do like to call penalties. They call lots of penalties. So here you go. We've already had 6 or 7, and we're still 4:33 to go here in the first. They're discussing things over there with Steve Jewell, taking a lot of time here. Now they've moved the chain, so it looks like Casey County's going to have the first down, but just not real sure what all this discussion is about. Okay, the flag was the sideline warning against the Redhounds. Okay, well that would explain why the flag was thrown way over there, away from the 30 yards away from the play by the side official. My guess is he was running up through there and ran into one of those Corbin coaches. Now, if he ran into Shane Creekmore, that would be pretty tough on him. Shane's a big old boy. 1st and 10, Casey County. Handoff up the gut. Bishop hitting, cut down right at the line of scrimmage. No running room whatsoever. That's a nice hit in there by Jesse Leifer getting up off the bottom of that pile. Dalton Anderson also went on that hit. Second down at about 9 as he did manage to fall forward for a yard. Corbin on top 14-0. 4:07 to go here. Clock moving in the first quarter. Hayes moves up under center again. Back split behind him. Turns. Pitches it out to the left side. Gets it out there to Bishop. Trying to get around the corner. Does find a bit of yardage as he turns it up. Squares his shoulders and runs through a couple tackles. Gets it down to about the 42-yard line. Looks to me like he's going to be a bit shy of the first down. Will bring up a very manageable third down and about a yard and a half, maybe 2, for Casey County. Pretty impressive drive here by Casey County as they're doing it on the ground here. They came out trying to throw the ball, completed the first pass of the night, and then Hayes went cold. They have since moved him up under center, kind of packed it in there with a couple tight ends and 2 backs, and just ran right at Corbin, and it had a little bit of success. Same set here for the Rebels. They do have a slot to the left side now. 2 backs very closely in behind the quarterback Hayes. Quick pitch right side this time to Bishop. He turns it, gets it into the secondary. One guy to beat. He's going to be cut down from behind though, by Jackson. But he picked up the first down easily. Gain of about 10, maybe 11 on the play, all the way down to the Corbin 30. That's a nice run that time by number 1, Wyatt Bishop. Bishop, not a big guy. He's listed at 5'8", 145 pounds, and that may be gracious. But he's a hard-nosed kid. He's already had a couple of nice runs in his game. 1st and 10 for Casey, working from the Corbin 31-yard line. Hayes moves up under center. Back to throw. Here comes the blitz. Hammer from behind. Falls loose. Jackson knocked it free. Corbin's got the fumble recovery, and I don't know if Hayes is going to get up. He is still down on the turf, and Jackson just ran through him from the blind side. Never saw him coming. The ball came shooting free. Recovered by Mendel, and Corbin's got it back. Kevin Mendel picks up the ball at the 41-yard line, or recovers it from the 41, I should say. Jackson will get the strip sack, and Corbin's got it back. 2:48 to go. Hounds on top, 14-0. Wow. Corbin quickly out of the huddle on the sprint. Like Taylor's going to open up in the shotgun. Nance flanking him to his right. 2 wide outs to the right. Now they motion Kopic from the left side back to that side as well. Taylor rolls to that side. Sets up, fires long down the middle field. He's got a receiver right there. Caught by Jackson at the 30. Makes a move. He's going to be drugged down from behind at the 22-yard line. Nice toss that time by Taylor to Kai Jackson. And Kai's having a great game here tonight, let me tell you. Now, we've never had a Froyo player of the game that's won it on both offense and defense. But if the game was over right now, it could very well be Kai Jackson on both sides of the football. He's ran the ball very well. He just caught a long pass. He's caused a fumble, been in on a couple sacks. So we may have a dual winner of the Froyo player of the game here before this game's over with. Kai making a bid for that thus far in the early going. 2:25 to go here in the first quarter. Corbin on top, 14-0. 1st and 10 for the Hounds from the 22-yard line of Casey County. Taylor working out of the gun. Tate's going to leave it off right side with Powers. Gaping hole on the right side. Powers spins through a couple tackles all the way down to the 10-yard line. He wasn't hit until he had a full head of steam going 10 yards down the field. First down, Corbin. They're going to mark him inside the 10, I believe, which would mean it's 1st and goal. No, actually just outside of the 10-yard line. Well, the officials are going to say it's 1st and goal, though, so there's no need to move the chains. Corbin's got 4 tries from the 10s, what it amounts to. A.J. Moore wide to the left side, Jackson to the right. Taylor's going to move up under center. Sends Kopic in motion, gives it off to Kopic on the right side, cuts it up against the grain. Touchdown, Corbin. Kopic running behind the right side of that Corbin line. He walks it into the end zone, and Kopic picks up Corbin's 3rd touchdown of the night. 20-0. Hounds on top, 1:54 to go in the first. It felt like it got 10 degrees colder in that last drive, let me tell you. The breeze has picked up a bit anyway. Cannonu set to attempt the extra point. Hustling out onto the field. Stewart is the holder. Jackson Stewart, he would be the backup quarterback tonight with Waddle being out. He is the JV quarterback, fine young athlete, but now he is the actual varsity backup tonight since Taylor Waddle's not dressed. High snap. Stewart gets it down. Cannonu steps into it, drives it right through the middle, and Corbin stays perfect on the night as far as extra points are concerned. That is a good sign. Hounds on top 21-0. Minute 54 to go in the first. We'll step aside and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. Cannonu's kick drives Bishop all the way back to the 15, and Chris Middleton in on the tackle there for Corbin as Eads made the catch, turned, and started upfield and met Middleton right at the 20-yard line. Good coverage there by the Corbin kicking team. Chris Middleton, first guy down the field for the Hounds that time, and not quite as good a field position for Casey County as they've had in earlier possessions. 21-0, Corbin on top. Minute 47 to go here in the first quarter of play. It has been all Corbin, and the question has been answered very quickly here as to whether or not the Hounds were going to come out flat. Hayes moves up under center, leaves it off with a second back through. That's Bishop, struggles out to the 25-yard line, gain of about 5. Good run that time by Hayes. I like that. I like that kid. He's a hard runner. A couple of pretty good backs for these guys. Eads and Bishop both run very hard. Not big guys. Quarterback is a head taller than both of them. Second down and 5 now for Casey County. 2 wide outs to the right, nobody to the left side, and Hayes moves away from the line of scrimmage, glances down at his wristband. Looks like he may be changing his play. Better hurry. Now takes it, leaves it off left side. This is Randall. He lowers his head. He's hit and popped pretty good just across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. A bunch of Redhounds in on that hit. Kai Jackson there. Cody Lane getting off the bottom of the pile. And I'm going to get that number there because he was in on the big hit there. That's Dalton Anderson. Dalton's been around the football all night long tonight as well. Casey County quickly out of the huddle. They're going to run it right from the line. They actually didn't even huddle up. They're just going to run the play straight from the line. And Hayes looking over at the Casey County sideline, getting the play call on 3rd down and about 3 here. And Sam Marple's going to have to take a timeout. He did not like what he saw, so we'll break right along with the Rebels, get a little sponsor time in, and we'll be back to Campbell Field. Corbin leads at 21-0. Just 28 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. 3rd down and 3 for Casey County, working from their own 27-yard line. Court on top, 21-0. Hayes moves up under center, turns, leaves a second back through. Bishop hit at the line, spins free, gets it out over the 30-yard line. Good run that time by the little back, and I think he's going to have enough for the first down. It's going to be close, but we will see if what the officials say. They glance at it, and tell the chains to move on down the line. So fresh set of downs for Casey County. 1st down and 10 now for the Rebels, working from their own 31-yard line. Looks like Casey's going to stay in the huddle and let the clock go ahead and wind down. That is what they're going to do. So with 1 quarter in the books, Corbin on top 21-0. We'll break and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. Corbin on top 21-0, starting the second quarter of play. 1st down and 10 for Casey County. Rebels have it. Quarterback Breece Hayes, B-R-E-E-C-E. Breece Hayes, just a freshman. There's a mix-up in the backfield. Ball's loose on the ground. Big pile up there right at the 30-yard line. Hayes turned and ran right into his fullback. There's the signal, Corbin football. I had no idea who had it coming up off the bottom of the pile. It looked like it might have been Dalton Anderson with the football. It's just a guess from here. But Hayes turned, ran right into his fullback. Ball was loose on the deck, and then just a massive pile up at the 30, and Corbin comes out of there with the ball. But what has already been a very difficult start for Casey County gets a little more difficult. 1st and 10 now for Corbin from the 30-yard line. They've got some clock problems. I look up at the clock, and there's only 30 seconds showing on the clock. Now it's 11:30. They got it fixed there. I think it'd be okay with Casey if there's only 30 seconds left. Taylor back to throw, pumps, looks, can't find anybody, drops back, fires down the middle of the field. He's got a man out there, up for grabs. It is incomplete. Just threw that one up for grabs. Really pretty lucky it wasn't intercepted, as the defensive back there, Randall, got a couple of hands on it, and A.J. Moore became more of a defender than a receiver and batted away from him at the last second. So Corbin will keep it. 2nd down and 10 from their own, from the Casey County 30. pretty good Corbin crowd across the way. I would estimate about three-quarters full. Of course, homecoming festivities and the Hall of Fame induction tonight probably boosted the crowd a little more than it would on a really cold night against a team that Corbin should beat pretty easily. Taylor leaves it straight up the gut with Kopic. He cuts it back against the grain, lowers his head, fights down inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line before he finally goes down. Good running that time by Jake. Corbin using him sparingly. I think that may be the fourth carry for Jake. They would love to get him just a little work in here tonight, but not wear him down at all. Very brutal, or very, I would say, well, it could be brutal, but a very physical game coming up next week as Corbin and Knox Central will do battle here on Campbell Field, and at least what you would think will be a very physical game. Saw Knox Central in the Cumberland Falls Pigskin Classic, and pretty good-looking football team. They hand it off to Powers in motion as he cuts behind the quarterback, lowers his head, fights down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Picking up the first down is Powers. Good run that time by him, and Corbin's threatening again, leading 21-0. Clock continues to run once Corbin gets to that 36-point lead, and I don't think it can get there quickly enough for either of these teams. I'm sure there's some young guys across the way waiting their turn to play some tonight, but for the most part, I think Steve Jewell would love to get out here with a convincing win, no injuries, and move on to Knox Central next week. Hounds will be on the road for all of the playoffs. The first game will be either at Henry County or Elizabethtown, whoever wins that game tonight, and they are playing tonight at Henry County. Here's Powers up the middle again, short gainer of about 3, bangs it down to about the 11-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go now in the first half. Corbin on top, 21-0. Been a very workmanlike effort by the Hounds. Not a lot of flash. It's been very vanilla attack for Corbin. Coach Ferris, Coach Jewell, they're not showing a whole lot here tonight as far as trick plays or new offenses or anything like that. Just kind of getting the job done. Powers and Kopic split wide to the left side. Jackson and Reedy to the right. Taylor takes it, looks left. Looking left all the way. Here comes the blitz. Doesn't see it coming. He's going to be hit. Breaks free of it, though. Nice move that time by Taylor. Now he steps up into the pocket, loses his footing. Still scrambling around the left side. Winds up, fires for the end zone. It's going to be caught over near the sideline. Short of the end zone, but Reedy makes the catch, a diving catch. William Reedy with the catch just short of the goal line at about the 2. Well, that's a great play that time by Taylor. He scrambled around and lost his footing. The blitz was coming from the blind side, and somehow he felt it at the last moment, stepped away from it, spun free, and then bought some time. And Reedy, a very good job of working back to the quarterback, made the diving catch down near the pylon, and the mark the football looks like about the 2-yard line. So great individual plays by Taylor and William Reedy. I like the way that Reedy kid plays. He's a good-looking receiver. Taylor turns, going to leave it straight up the gut. Powers takes it in. Touchdown, Corbin, and the Hounds on the board again, 27-0. Corbin on top. Offensive line, again, doing their job very well, running behind big Zach Henson there and Colby Sima. Powers bangs it in from a yard out. Corbin on top, 27-0. 8:51 to go here in the first half of play. Cannonu trying to stay perfect on the night. To me, that is one of the big stories of the evening. Corbin able to convert on their extra points. Now, I hope I don't put the old broadcaster's jinx on him, but Tulio Cannonu has banged 3 in a row through perfectly. Stewart gets the snap down. Cannonu steps into it, drives it right down the middle. Perfect. He is 4 for 4 on the night. And, boy, that is good news if you're a Corbin fan, because we have really struggled with extra points this year thus far. Cannonu, 4 out of 4. Corbin up 28-0. 8:51 to go. We'll break for 30, then be right back. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Dave Cox with you. Back after a week-long break. Didn't make the Bell County game last week. And by the way, I need to apologize to Gus Klaus on the radio, or in public, I should say. I left Gus all the materials, and Gus very graciously agreed to come and do the game for me while I was out of town, and left him my folder with all the rosters and everything in it. The trouble is, I have got 2 red folders. One's for basketball. Hold on, I'll finish that in just a moment here. Here's a kickoff by Moore. Going to be fielded by Bishop back at the 20-yard line. So run at the middle field. He has got a gaping hole. He's at the 50. Only one man can stop him. It's going to be chased down from behind. And a good tackle from behind by Dylan Adams at the 35-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle. Bishop takes it all the way back to the 35-yard line of Corbin. But good run back by Casey County. Their best offensive play of the night. Corbin leads at 28-0, but Casey County in good field position. But anyway, back to my story. Gus graciously agreed to do the game for me. I've got two folders. They're identical. They both say Kentucky assessment coordinators on the outside. Got those somewhere along the line, but they look exactly like. One's for basketball, one's for football. I have to apologize to Gus. I left him the basketball folder. He had no rosters last week, so if he called some basketball names last week, it was not Gus's fault. It was mine. Here's a sack in the backfield. Ball loose on the ground. Big pile up at the 40-yard line. Looks to me as if Casey County came out of there with it, but Corbin says it's them, and the officials agree with Corbin. Casey County had that football, but I could see it clearly from here. He was out-wrestled for the ball on the bottom of that pile, and I believe that was Dalton Anderson again that came out of there with it. Wow. Sacked from behind, and the ball was knocked free. Looked to me as if Casey had recovered, but in the scrum, I believe it was Dalton Anderson able to take it away from the Casey County center, and Corbin's going to get it back on the turnover. But at any rate, all that being said, I need to apologize to Gus. I left him the wrong folder, so he had rosters for last year's basketball team and not the football. So, Gus, thanks for doing the game, and I'll have you the correct roster should that happen again. I'll have to take the blame for that one. Taylor in the gun. Rides it, leaves it with Jackson off the right corner. He lowers his head, dives forward over the 45, out near the 47-yard line, gain of about 5 for Kai. I tell you, Kai is such a physical kid. He's really a hard hitter when he tackles you, but he's one of those guys that I don't think people really enjoy tackling very much either. He runs very low to the ground, and knees and elbows are swinging, and the whole time. So he's probably a punishing runner to tackle as well as a guy got to be tackled, or punishing got to be tackled by as well. He turned that corner, and then I could see that cornerback kind of shying away from him just a little bit. Very physical young man. Second down and 4 as they give Jackson 6 on the carry. Taylor working out of the gun. Nance motions right in front of the quarterback. They give it off to Jackson again, same play. Turns the corner. He runs through 2 tackles, still on his feet, all the way down to the 42-yard line. Good run that time by Jackson again, and a nice block out front. I think Kopic may have been the kid, or Nance, Kopic and Nance possibly. Led the way with a couple of good blocks as he went around that corner. Another first down for Corbin. If you're just tuning in and you do not know I guess one of the big stories around this Corbin football team this week is Taylor Waddle injured in the Bell County game. Did not suit up tonight. One of Corbin's better offensive players. He's going to sit out tonight, potentially next week as well, from what I understand. And I think they're maybe eyeing a return to play maybe the first round of the playoffs, hopefully. Jackson on the left side this time runs through a tackle in the backfield, still running very hard, gets through a couple more guys, and they're going to pull him down at about the 37 out of the back of his jersey. Pretty spectacular run there just to pick up 5 yards, but he was hit in the backfield 3 yards deep, shook that guy loose, and then the guy had a hold of his jersey, drug him for a couple yards. All in all, it's a gain of 5 yards for Kai. Corbin on top, 28-0. 6:50 to go in the first half of play. Dave Cox with you here, field side. Taylor moves up under center this time. Pitch out left side to Kopic. That's the short side of the field. Makes one guy miss in the backfield. Starts up the left sideline. Got some daylight. He's into the secondary. Picks his way up the field, and then there's a flag that comes down as they chase Kopic out of bounds inside the 15 at about the 14. But more than likely, that's going to be a hold on Corbin, as there was a wide receiver out there with a handful of jersey, I believe. That's on the far side of the field, so I'm just guessing from here, but it just about has to be a hold. Yeah, that's going to go against Corbin, so that's a point of spot foul. So it looks like it's going to be backed up from the 15. So Corbin will probably have it first and 10 somewhere around the 25-yard line. But again, another very good example, I think, of Kopic and what a mature runner he's turned out to be. He turned that corner, and didn't look like there was going to be a lot there, but he kind of hesitated, kept his feet moving, and allowed the blockers in front of him to do their job and kind of catch up with him, if you will. and really turned what could have been a 4 or 5 yard gain into a 20-yard gain. They do back it up 10 yards back to the 25-yard line. 6.5 to go in the half. Corbin on top, 28-0. Three backs sit in behind Taylor and give it to the third back through. Powers off the right tackle. He's into the secondary. Lowers his head, takes it all the way in. Touchdown. Powers from 25 yards out. Great run that time, his second of the night. And Tanner Powers having a big night here as he hacks that one in from 25 yards out. Corbin on top, 34-0. Now, if you're doing the arithmetic with me here, 36 is the number we need to get to keep this clock running. Cannonu here has been perfect all night long. He's going to come out and kick another extra point, but I don't think it would hurt anybody's feelings should Corbin go for two here and try to get this clock moving. Steve Jewell wouldn't do that, though. He's too nice a guy. It would sure be nice to get that clock moving because this game is out of hand. And it feels like it's about 25 degrees out here. Stewart's the holder. Cannonu's kick is good, but there were flags down from everywhere as clearly Bishop that time jumped off sides for Casey County. Now, whether he was drawn off or not, I don't know. I thought he was going to block the kick. He got such a big jump, but Cannonu went ahead and drilled the extra point through anyway. Looks like they're going to say the play was stopped prior to the kick, so they're going to make Corbin do it again. They'll move it up 1.5 yards, which is half the distance of the goal there from the 3. And Corbin could easily punch it in from there for 2 and get this clock moving if they wanted to, but they're going to let Cannonu practice the extra points again. High snap. Stewart gets it down, though. Cannonu steps into it, drives it through. Great play by Jackson Stewart. What a play by the holder, Stewart. He almost had to come out of his stance and stand up and catch that thing. Got it down in time. Cannonu hesitated and still managed to bang it through. Corbin stays perfect on extra points. 35-0 lead for the Hounds. 6:23 to go here in the first half of play. We'll step aside, take a 30-second break, and we'll be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound football on T107. Cannonu tees it up there at the 40, set to kick it away. Bishop and Eads back deep for Casey County. It's Hall of Fame night here, and we'll go through that list here just in a few minutes. Some really good inductees here tonight for the Corbin Hall of Fame. As I believe that's Alex Thompson kicking off. Thompson kicks it straight down the middle of the field. Big, long, high end over in kick. It'll be fielded by Bishop. He's tracked down from behind at about the 37-yard line. I believe that, yeah, it is Bishop. And pretty good field position there for Casey County. As I was trying looking down there to try to see who the kicker was, number 88, Alex Thompson, kickoff guy that time. Cannonu had been kicking off. They let Thompson wail at it that time. And gets it down there pretty good, but a good run back again by Bishop. He's a good kickoff return guy. Almost took it back for a touchdown the last time. But going into, first of all, a couple thank yous. First of all, I'd like to thank David Keck and his crew over there. They catered the Hall of Fame thing tonight, and they fed me up really well. They sent a big plate of food over here, and grilled chicken sandwich and chili and all the dessert stuff. And we appreciate Donna Bowling bringing it up here and taking care of us as she usually does. We look forward to that every week. Handoff left side as Randall's going to get it out over the 40 to about the 42. So thanks to Dave Keck and Donna Bowling for feeding us up here in the booth tonight. I also need to tell everybody that Bubby's Barbecue is going to sponsor a fundraiser for the Redhound Varsity Club. Tickets are on sale for $10 a piece, and that will be the dinner buffet at Bubby's on November 12th. Now, I believe that's a Tuesday, a night they're normally closed, but they're going to open up out there at Bubby's from 6 until 8. If you buy one of these tickets from any Varsity Club member for $10 each, all proceeds go to the Corbin Varsity Club, which always work their way back to the students there at Corbin High School. Back to pass is Hayes across the middle, incomplete. Pass intended across the middle for Randall, and that will bring up third down now for Casey County. But $10 a ticket for the dinner buffet out at Bubby's on November the 12th, and from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So you can buy those tickets from any Varsity Club member. When we get a minute, I'll just hold on to it during the next break here, and we'll go over all of the Hall of Fame inductees this year. Really good group of folks, and interesting group for me because I was looking up and down this list and knew every one of them. And of course, the 2002 football teams going in, I don't know that I know all of those guys, but I know a good number of them. Handoff left side. Bishop cut down into backfield. Nice play that time. Big 64 Cody Lane coming in to take him down for a loss of about 3 on the play. We'll bring up 4th down and 8. But really representative group of athletes and coaches going in to the Hall of Fame this year. Corbin on top 35-0. 5 minutes to go here in the first half of play. It looks like Casey's going to kick it away on 4th down and about 8. Bishop is the kicker. Wyatt Bishop, he's a senior. Also their leading ground gainer on the year, so you got to kind of watch. He's got high snap. Fielded by Bishop. Starts off the right side. Thought about running it. Rugby-style kick. High end over end kick's going to be fair catch called for. Then fair catch is made by Jackson. Had to go down to his knees. Thought he might have fumbled it, but he just kind of misjudged it a bit. Went down to his knees. Fields it cleanly at the 30, and Corbin will take over 1st and 10. But, inductees this year, Bram Hoover going in, outstanding football, baseball player. Jennifer Parsons going in as the coach this year. Took the Lady Redhounds to the state tournament for the first time in, I guess, 30 years. Joe House going in, outstanding baseball and football player at Corbin High School. Kevin Pace on the state championship football team. I think he was the S.E. Casey Lineman of the Year his senior year. Lisa Wren, girls basketball player and a girls coach there at Corbin. Bo Pace is going in as well. The 2002 football team, as I said, Asher Hoskins, outstanding baseball player back in his day, knew Asher well, and actually had the good fortune of coaching his oldest son in middle school basketball, and also Norman Mims, outstanding high school football player. So a really good group of folks. We'll talk a little bit more about each one of those as the night goes on. Here's a handoff left side. Kopic is going to be grabbed by the neck and wrestled down at the 30-yard line. Boy, that looked awkward. And lost on the play of about a yard. Those are the kind of things that you hate to see in a 35-0 game. You know, your leading ground carrier being pulled to the ground by his neck. Yeah, we'll have just a bit of an extended halftime as the varsity club will be honoring all these folks. Big banquet tomorrow night as well. Here's a handoff straight up the middle. That is Kai Jackson running very hard. He's cut down from behind at the 35, gain of about 4 straight up the middle. We'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 now for Corbin. 3:45 to go here in the first half of play. And then again, I'm always for the Redhounds. I want to see Corbin win, and sometimes we pull for the other team a little bit if they play hard and hope they do well. And certainly don't wish any ill will towards any team. But I would love to see Corbin hang up another touchdown here before the half, so this clock would run continuously in the second half. 35-point lead for Corbin, and 36 is the number you need to get to. Taylor back to throw, dumps it off underneath. It's going to be incomplete. 4th down now and about 7 for Corbin. It looks like Steve Drew's going to hustle his punt team out onto the field. Casey County has held Corbin for the first time in a while now. Hayes will drop back and field the punt for Casey County. What they've got to watch for is Taylor hasn't ran one in a while, and very capable of picking up a 4th down and 7 if Casey's not alert. Our guy Dave back at the station says it's 39 degrees. If it is, it's a bit warmer where he's at than where I'm at. And a timeout to Casey County. I think they're going to talk about this potential fake right here, so we'll just hold on to it here during the break. Corbin on top 35-0. 3:18 to go in the first half of play. And again, we'll run through those Hall of Fame inductees one more time. Bram Hoover, baseball football player. Jennifer Parsons, she's going in as the coach this year. And again, anybody around the Corbin girls basketball program anytime in the past 10 years or so knows what a great job Jennifer did with that program. Took the Lady Redhounds to the state tournament last year. Took them to the state tournament, and for the first time, I guess, in 30 years. And Jennifer retired after that and is now the middle school principal, by the way. Joe House, football and baseball player. Kevin Pace, baseball player. And I believe he was the S.E. Casey Lineman of the Year, as I said a moment ago. Lisa Wren, a girls basketball player, and also was the coach of the Lady Redhounds there for a good while. Bo Pace, a big supporter of Corbin football just for many, many years, and a guy that was synonymous with this program for a long time. Asher Hoskins, outstanding high school baseball player. Norman Mims, outstanding high school football player as well. And then the team going in this year is the 2002 football team. If I'm not mistaken, that's the team that was the state runner-up, beaten by Breathitt County in what was probably the coldest high school game ever in Corbin history. But a very good football team, probably an overachieving football team. Those guys really did well, the talent that they had. And here's a punt by Taylor. Steps into it, nice end over end kick. It's going to get a Corbin roll down inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line. And not to say that team was a talented. They obviously had a lot of talent, but they weaved their way through a very tough schedule that year and made it to the state championship team, and just ran into a buzzsaw in Breathitt County in the finals. But at any rate, those are the inductees this year for the Varsity Club Hall of Fame. Bank will be tomorrow night. And I believe that's at Corbin High School, and I get to enjoy the new renovations down there at the high school. 3:06 to go here in the first half. 35-0. Corbin on top. In a very long first half. Handoff straight up the middle, and that's going to be Eads, who bangs it out over the 25 to about the 27-yard line, gain of about 3. Now, you get the feeling that Casey would love to throw the football more. They started out their first series throwing it, 3 of the first 4 plays, but Hayes was just getting beat up as they could not keep the Corbin linemen off of him. So they kind of since then went to a more of a power running game with a couple tight ends. They've had a little success moving the ball, just unable to get on the scoreboard. Hayes takes it, leaves a segment through, ball stumble loose on the deck, big pile up, and it looks like Corbin's got it again. Yes, they do. Hounds recovered at the 25. Hayes turned that time and tried to hand it to Bishop, I believe, as he went by on the right side. Bishop looked like he was trying to find somebody to block. I don't think he was expecting the football at all. And Corbin's got it at the 24 with 2:28 to go, leading 35-0. So Casey's put it on the ground about 4 times tonight, and they've thrown 1 interception. Austin O'Neill with the interception tonight for the Hounds. Couldn't see who the Redhound was that got on that fumble. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, though, Dalton Anderson's got a couple of recoveries tonight himself. Taylor working out of the shotgun. Fakes it to Kopic. Rolls back to throw. Sets up. Fires off the right side. Incomplete. Well defended out there by Bishop. He stepped right in front of Brian Nance and batted that away with his offhand. Good play by Wyatt Bishop. Clock stop, 2:22 to go on the incomplete pass. Corbin on top, 35-0. No Kentucky football on your radio tomorrow, as the Wildcats played last night. And in typical Wildcat fashion, they found a way to lose again. They potentially could have won, and I almost say they should have won, but they could have won. I really thought that last drive, Sanders had broken that thing for a touchdown, and boy, just a shoestring tackle kept Kentucky from having a chance to win the football game. Taylor back to throw, sets up, fires down the middle field, intended for Jackson, incomplete at the goal line. That one overthrown just a bit. Looked like Kyle might have gotten his feet tangled up a little bit, and he was falling as he tried to reach up and catch that ball. So 3rd down and 10 now for Corbin, probably in 4-down territory here, working from the 24-yard line of Casey County. Corbin crowd hanging in here pretty good across the way, and I'm sure it will thin out here at halftime after the Hall of Fame inductions. Or I shouldn't say inductions. Probably tonight is just the announcement. Here's a mix-up in the backfield, and Kopic finally comes out of there with it. There were 3 Corbin Redhounds. Kopic, Jackson, and Taylor all ran together back there. Kopic ended up with the football, and he's hit for a loss of about 2 yards. So 4th down now and about 10 for Corbin. Well, I can say about 4th and 12, actually. Well, the mistake I made tonight was not bringing that little heater. We will not make that mistake next week, I can promise you. Of course, you never know. In Kentucky, you may not need it next week. The weather changes quickly. 4th and 12 for the Hounds. Taylor out of the gun, works to the right. Plenty of time to throw. Still looking. Still sets up, fires long for the end zone. People running around out there. It's going to be incomplete. Moore got a hand on it, but it looked like might have been Bishop again for Casey County. Reached in there and just raked it clean. So that's going to turn it over on downs to Casey County with a minute 18 to go here in the half. Pretty sparse Casey County crowd here. There looks like there'll be about, I'm going to estimate about 25. Guys down in front of me have those hand warmer things that you shake and try to get them warm. Probably a little cooler out there than it is in this press box. First and 10 for Casey County from their own 26-yard line. Corbin on top, 35-0, 1:18 to go in the first half. Hayes hands it off straight up the middle. That's going to be Bishop, who's hit and dropped immediately. May have gotten a yard. He was thrown to the turf. It looked like his head snapped back and hit the ground pretty hard. He's a little guy. Again, he's listed at 5'8", 145. I'm not sure about the 145 part. He's probably 5'8", but he doesn't even look 145. But he's a hard-nosed kid, let me tell you. Really good player. Under a minute to go here in the half. Casey County second down and 8. They hand it off to Bishop again, trying to get around the left side. Runs into his own man, then Powers tracks him down and pushes him out of bounds at the 30. We'll bring up third down and long now for Casey County. Tanner Powers had a good game. He's been in on several tackles on defense, got a couple of touchdowns on the offensive side. And in case you're just tuning in, Corbin playing without Taylor Waddle tonight. Suffered that ankle sprain on the first series against Bell County last week, and certainly he was missed in that 7-0 loss to the Bobcats. But more importantly, it looks like he's going to maybe out for maybe another week. I don't know if he'll be back in the Knox Central game. They kind of talked like they were going to sit him out possibly. But with that being said, hopefully Taylor will be back to full strength by the time they get to the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. Pitch out right side. Bishop's stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that will bring to a close the first half of play. Corbin on top, 35-0 after one. We'll pause for a timeout, then be back, talk a little bit about this first half. Tri-County Sporting Goods halftime show coming up right after this short timeout. Stick around. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. The kickoff on the run at the 15-yard line, straight up the middle of the field, untouched. A wall opens up, and he takes it right down the center of the field, untouched for the touchdown. 85-yard kickoff return, and the fireworks start early here in the second half as the Hounds take a 41-0 lead. Great run back that time by Kopic, and I believe I could have ran that one back. I could have walked it back, let me put it that way. He was untouched right up the middle of the field, and Kopic takes it all the way back for 6, and Kenanu on to attempt the extra point. He's been perfect on the night. He is 5 for 5. Hope I don't put the broadcaster's jinx on him, because that has been a sore spot for Corbin this year, getting extra points through the uprights. And Kenanu, again, perfect on the night. Stewart, the holder, had a great play the last time. This time, much better snap, gets it down, kick on the way. This one good as well. So Kenanu stays perfect on the night. 7 out of 7 for Tulio. 42-0, Corbin on top, 11-19 to go here in the third quarter of play. Now, the good news, folks, is they let the clock run, I believe. Now, they haven't started it yet, but my understanding is when it gets to be 36-0, they crank the clock, and they have not done that yet, so I hope they don't forget that rule. But great run back that time by Kopic, and I just wonder how long Steve Jewell will leave his starters in there, because a big game coming up next week at Knox Central. And then again, in years past, Corbin has been seeded high enough as the one or the two generally that they would have I wouldn't say a walkover game in the first round, but a much easier game in the first round than they're going to have this year. Going in as the number 3 seed, they're going to be playing the number 2 from the other side. So whether it be Elizabethtown or Henry County, it's going to be a tough ball game. It'll be a game they're going to have to show up and really play well in. So with that being said, it's going to be I think, really important for Corbin to come out of this game healthy, or this week rather, stay healthy and ready to go. Thompson going to kick it off for the Hounds, steps into it. And over end kick is going to be fielded by Bishop. Back at the 20-yard line, starts up the left side over the 30, cuts through a couple tacklers, going to be hit and tracked down at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 there for Bishop and the Rebels of Casey County. 10:45 to go in the third, 42-0. Corbin on top. Casey County set to take over 1st and 10 from their own 40. And the crowd thinned considerably across the way after that extended halftime. Maybe we'll have a few listeners on the way home. Hayes moves up under center, back split behind him, handoff. Second back through is going to be Bishop trying to get around the right corner, and he does. Turns it up, nice gainer on the play of about 8 or 9. He's going to be knocked down just shy of the 50-yard line. Austin O'Neill in on the initial hit, as was Cody McCarg. 10 minutes exactly to go in the third. 42-0, Corbin on top. Casey County with it second down now and about 1 from the 49-yard line of the Rebels. 1-7 on the year for Casey County, but if you look at their ledger, they've played a lot of teams close. This is not a 1-7 football team. Handoff straight up the middle, and that's going to be Randall, hit it, stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go at all. It's a good plan there by big number 52. That's Kevin Mendel. He's had a good game. Has a fumble recovery, and in on that first hit right there. And boy, the ball carrier very slow getting up for Casey County. 3rd down and about a yard now for Casey County. The few Casey County fans that came over here are still here. There's a little bit of a vocal group down on that far end. You can hear them occasionally. Hayes moves under center, then backs away. Looks like he might be changing his play. Corbin loading the line on this 3rd and 1. Pitch out right side to get it to Bishop, who's going to have the first down. That's an interesting play. Bishop was just lined up in the slot to the right. The quarterback takes the snap and just kind of shuffle passes it to him. Bishop just takes a half a step back and then turns and heads upfield. And really just a very unique-looking play. Kind of a quick pitch forward, if you will, almost a forward lateral. Effective enough, though, to pick up the first down. Casey County working on the Corbin side of the 50 at the 45. Handoff left side. Bishop trying to get around the corner. Turns the corner. He's got some room. He's at the 40. 30 down the left sideline. Cut it down out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Good run that time by Bishop as he found a lot of room around that left side. Cody McCarg with the touchdown-saving tackle. And Casey County with their furthest penetration into Corbin territory thus far tonight. 8 minutes to go in the third. Corbin on top 42-0. I really like this Bishop kid. He is hard-nosed. And again, I've mentioned a couple times now, not a big kid. He's listed 5'8", 145. But he plays much bigger than that. Certainly has a big heart. Here's a handoff right side. They're trying to get off the right tackle is Eaves. Eaves is hit and stood up right at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards, maybe a loss of a yard on the play. Eaves not nearly as quick as Bishop getting to the hole. Casey County right back at the line of scrimmage. They call their plays from the line of scrimmage. They don't huddle up. As soon as the play's over, they get up and they get in, at least into the positions, not in a stance, and the quarterback just works the sideline with Coach Sam Marple. He gets the play call, then he goes to the line and communicates that to the players. Here's the pitch out right side. Fumble, ball's loose on the deck. I think Corbin's got it, and they do. That was the same play they ran earlier where they just took the snap and just pitched it almost forward to the slot back on the right side. And this time the slot back didn't see it coming. Evidently, he didn't get the play call because he hit him right in the shoulder pads, fell on the ground, and the Corbin player right there to cover it. I did not see who the Redhound was that got the recovery, but Casey County turns it over at the Corbin 20, and the Hounds get it back. What's interesting to me now is to see whether or not the Hounds come back out with their first-team offense, and it does not look as if they're going to. I see Tucker Jewell heading out onto the field. I also see number 15, Drew Carter, heading onto the field. So it looks as if Corbin has subbed down with at least their backs. The quarterback is going to be Jackson Stewart. Yes, Jackson Stewart. So Corbin with their JV team in the game now at this point. And off left side, that's going to be Brock running hard off the right side, or Carter, excuse me. He's going to be hit and cut down after a short gain on the play. Drew Carter, the speedster, trying to get around that right side. Not much running room there. Gained about 2, maybe 3. They give him a pretty good spot on the play. Clock continues to run. 5:50 to go now in the third quarter. Corbin on top, 42-0. Zach Ingles going to come in and get some time on the offensive line as Henson will go out. Zach for Zach there. Number 84 splits wide to the right side for Corbin. That's Sailor Rasmus. Jackson takes the snap, pitches it out left side to Brock. He's running hard off left tackle, gets it over the 25 out near the 27-yard line. Gain of 4 will bring up third down now and about 3 for Corbin. A short 3, maybe closer to 2 as they give Brock a pretty good spot there. I'll tell you what, I really like that kid. That is a good-looking running back right there, number 25. Dylan Brock, just a freshman, 6 feet, 174 pounds. And let me tell you, he's a load. He runs hard and is not afraid of contact. I would just about be willing to bet he is the leading tackler on the kickoff team. He is in on every tackle, it seems like, when Corbin's kicking off. Stewart moves up under center. 2 backs split behind him. They've got Brock in motion to the left side. Now they hand it off. Carter off the left side. He is going to run into a pile of tacklers there short of the 30-yard line. He needed to make the 31 for the first down. I don't think he's going to be there, so that's going to bring up 4th and short for Corbin, I believe. Let's see what the Hounds decide to do here. Doesn't look as if they're going to run a punter out onto the field, so it's 4th down and looks to be 4th and maybe half a yard, I guess. Looks like Corbin's going to go for it here. 4:10 to go in the third quarter. 42-0. Corbin on top. 4th down and about a yard for the Hounds, and Corbin going for it here on their own 30. Stewart moves up under center. 3 backs sit in behind him. Turns, leaves it off. Second back through. That's going to be Brock. I think he is hit. And no, Carter stood up right in the hole. He did not make it. He needed to get to 31, and he was cut down short of the first down, I believe. And so Corbin's going to turn it over on downs to Casey County at the 30-yard line. Well, let me say, I may have jumped the gun here. Looks like they're going to measure it maybe. Yeah, they are going to measure, but it doesn't look to me like he's got the first down. If he's got the first down from that spot, he should have had it on the play prior to that, because that's about right exactly where the ball was at. But we'll see. Maybe the lines are a little crooked going up through there. They put the chains down and stretched them, and it looks as if Corbin's going to be short. But Casey County is going to get the ball on downs. Pretty good defensive play by the front 4 of Casey County. They really just submarined the Corbin offensive line, pushed them backwards, and really no place to go for Carter at all. He just kind of ran into a pile of rebels. For some reason, the clock has stopped at 3:43. Now they start it again. 42-0. Corbin on top. 3.5 to go here in the third. Now we've got another whistle and stoppage of play. This time a timeout. Corbin, we don't have enough people out on the field. The Hounds are going to take a timeout. We'll break along with the Redhounds. 30-second timeout coming up. Corbin on top, 42-0. Stick around. You're listening to Redhound football on T107. Corbin on top, 42-0. 3.5 to go here in the third quarter play. Dave Cox with you here field side. Casey County has just held Corbin on downs at their own 30. At the Redhound 30, I should say. So Casey County takes over. Good field position here for Brees, Hayes, and the Rebels. Hayes back to throw, fires across the middle, intercepted. Picked off back there by Corbin. That is going to be number 20. That's Evan Grizel heading the other way with it. He's got a lot of real estate in front of him. He's going to be across the 30, all the way down to the 20. Drake down from behind goes Grizel all the way to the 20-yard line of Casey County. Good play that time by Evan Grizel. Couldn't pick up his number at first. He was running sideways there, and I can see the 0 but not the 2, but a nice interception by Evan Grizel, and Corbin in business at the Casey County 20. Picked that one up right off the turf. That was just right off of his shoestrings, and a good run back that time too. Let's see, that's a memory for Evan Grizzell there on homecoming night. Really good defensive play that time as the junior defensive back stepped right in front of the intended receiver, and really he was the only one on the field that had a chance to catch. It was going to be well underthrown as far as the Casey County receiver was concerned. Grizzell just judged it perfectly, picked it up off the turf, and headed the other way with it. Full house backfield set in behind Stewart, the quarterback. Stewart leaves it off second back through. That's going to be Brock running around left tackle to be hit and dropped after a short game, maybe 3 that time for Dylan Brock. Clock continues to run. It'll be under 2 minutes to go here by the time this next play gets started. Corbin on top, 42-0. Tuning up for Knox Central here next week at Campbell Field. See, Knox Central, I have my notes here. Knox Central playing tonight at Russell County. Take it down in 7 for Corbin. Stewart leaves it off with Tucker Jewell. Left side sprints into a hole. He's going to take it in. Touchdown. Jewell gets it all the way into the end zone from 17 yards out. I'm going to tell you something. Tucker Jewell gets to the hole in a hurry. Made a nice little stutter step there when he got into the second wave of tacklers and left one guy standing right in his tracks. And Jewell takes it in for the touchdown. Corbin on top, 48-0. Great run that time by Tucker Jewell. Good blocking off the left side of that Corbin line as well. I'll tell you what, Tucker Jewell, Dylan Brock, Drew Carter, Jackson Stewart, that's a pretty talented backfield there, and a bunch of young freshmen that really can play. Looks like Alex Thompson going to come on to attempt the extra point. Stewart will be the holder, so he'll flip sides as Thompson is the right-footed kicker. Snap is down, kick on the way. This one is boomed through. It's a knuckleball, but it's going to be good. Hammered it through. And Corbin has been perfect on extra points tonight so far. 49-0, Hounds on top. Clock's going to continue to wind down, and that will be the end of the third quarter. So we'll pause for a short timeout, then be back to Campbell Field. Hounds on top, 49-0, when we return. Corbin on top, 49-0. Hounds set to kick it away. Back deep is Bishop and Eads for Casey County. Thompson steps into it. Short end-over-end kick caught by Bishop on the run at the 25. Starts up the left side, breaks a tackle or two, still moving forward, and continues to push the pile out to near the 40-yard line. That's where Casey County will take over first down and 10. Now, Casey County is going to come out of here disappointed tonight because they're getting a pretty good thumping here, 49-0. But it has not been because of a lack of effort nor a lack of field position. They've started at their 30 or better almost every time tonight, and the kids are playing hard. It's just that this is a team that does not have a lot of depth. I'm only counting about 14 players on the sidelines other than the 11 on the field. So about 25 players, maybe 25 to 27 players dressed for Casey County tonight. And this pretty talented Corbin team. Even without Taylor Waddle tonight, this is a very explosive football team for the Hounds. Hayes takes it, rolls to his right. Here comes the blitz. He doesn't see it coming, but gets rid of the football. Underthrown, incomplete. Intended for number 4, Patterson. Ball off his fingertips, and we'll bring up second down and 10 now for Casey County. No Kentucky football on your radio tomorrow. The Wildcats played last night. Pretty good showing down at Mississippi State. And you know, I guess it would take a really astute football mind to sit and tell you the things that Kentucky's improving on, because they are small. They're small things, and but for some reason I just get the feeling that Coach Stoops is going to get it done. This team seems like that they're playing harder, and they're just a player or two away each game from being really competitive. Here's a handoff to Bishop right side, and he is hit and taken down from behind. Good tackle that time. Open field tackle by Dylan Brock. Basketball season in full swing at the University of Kentucky, as well as midnight madness already occurring, and all the blue chippers in for Coach Cal. The word from the Kentucky camp is that Randall is a beast. That he's just mauling people in practice. I look forward to seeing him play. Hayes rolling to his left, dumps it off underneath. Got his man out there. The pass is going to be caught by Patterson. then chased out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Going to be short of the first down. On third down, we'll bring up 4th and about 3 for Casey County, working from their own 45. Clock continues to run, 9:10 to go here in the football game. Corbin on top, 49-0. I'd like to remind everybody to stick around for our Tri-County Sporting Goods post-game show. Talk to you a little bit about this game, what's coming up for the Redhounds next week, as well as telling you about our Froyo players of the game. We've got an offensive and defensive player, Froyo player of the game here tonight. Could be any number, folks. A lot of candidates here on either side of the football for Corbin. Hayes rolling to his right, dumps it off underneath. Got his man. Nice catch out there by Bishop. Turns the corner. He's going to be hit and driven out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Nice open field tackle there by Caleb Parker. A touchdown-saving tackle by Parker. But a good throw and catch from the quarterback Hayes to Bishop. I'll tell you, Bishop has had the ball in his hands probably about 80% of the time, either running it or receiving it for this Casey County team. He'll sleep well tonight, I can promise you that. A lot of new Redhounds out on the field. Dustin Sam's out there, as is number 17, Winston Marcy on the field. Sailor Rasmus out there as well, number 9 on the field also. That's Caleb Parker just making that tackle. Hayes rolling to his left, looking to throw. Airs it out down the left side. It's going to be caught. We've got a flag down. It's going to be offensive pass interference. I can just about guarantee you that pass was caught out there by Waddle, but he shoved Tucker Jewell down at the 5-yard line. That was about as clear an offensive pass interference as I've ever seen. Now, we'll see what the officials agree or not. Oh, my goodness, they called it on Jewell. They called that on Jewell. I thought that was pretty. The Corbin fans and the Corbin players, I thought it was going to be on Casey County, as did I. But at any rate, I think it was Eads, actually, that made that catch, Kyle Eads. He got by with one there. He just shoved. He had 2 hands in the back of Tucker Jewell, shoved him down, and then made the catch and ran it in. It's 49-6. Casey County gets on the board. Jewell was in good position. It's just I don't think he was planning on being shoved from behind. Patterson is the extra point kicker for. Will attempt the extra point, I should say, for Casey County. The snap is down. Kick on the way. It is plenty long enough and good right down the middle. Patterson converts, and Casey County gets on the board, 49-7. Corbin on top. Clock continues to run. 6:25 to go now in the football game. That's one of the best rules that's ever been put into high school football, is this mercy rule. And it used to be 42 points. They reduced it to 36 this year, and this I think one of the best things the KHSAA has done in quite some time. The temperature continues to drop too. It's noticeably colder now than it was when this thing started. 49-7, Corbin on top. 5:50 to go here in the football game. Corbin taking on Knox Central next week, and then on the road for all of the playoffs, as far as the Hounds can go. You don't want to look ahead, and certainly that first playoff game is going to be a difficult one, whether it be Henry County or Elizabethtown. But should Corbin get through that matchup, and should they be able to get Taylor Waddle back, which it looks like they're going to be able to do, then, boy, I tell you, that sets up an interesting matchup. And here's an onside kick attempt from Casey County. Big pileup out just over the 50-yard line, still fighting for the football. Casey says they've got it. No signal from the official. Then there it is. They say the Rebels have recovered the onside kick. So Casey's going to get it back with 5 minutes to go. Still playing very hard are the Rebels. But as I was saying, it's going to set up a really interesting matchup. Should Corbin be able to get through that first round of the playoffs, more than likely going back to Wayne County to take on the Cardinals in a rematch of what I think was one of the better high school games I've seen in years. Corbin came out on the short end of the stick over there that night. Boy, that was an entertaining game. And Tyler Guppy, one of the better high school players I've seen in a while, the quarterback over at Wayne. Be a lot of fun to get to play them again. And a lot of schools have thought on whether or not Corbin benefited by losing that game to Bell, actually, because that that prevented them from having to go to Louisville Central in that second round. Here's a pass off the left side, incomplete, intended out there for Patterson. Diving attempt just off his fingertips. Second down and 10 now from the Corbin 45 for Casey County. Clock continues to run. 4:10 to go here in the game. 49-7. Corbin on top. That Corbin by losing to Bell County made them the number 3 seed, which means they're in the same bracket as our number 1, which is Wayne County, as opposed to being in a bracket with the number 1 from the other side, which is going to be Louisville Central. I don't know about most of Corbin fans, but I've had about enough of Louisville Central. Here's a pass up the left side, incomplete, batted away. Good defensive play by Rasmus. Saylor cut right in front of the receiver out there, slapped it away from him at the last moment, and the pass falls incomplete. Good play there by Rasmus. And I know Louisville Central is down a bit this year, not quite the powerhouse that they have been in years past, but tough place to go play. Just it's a unique setting up there, and a lot of good athletes. I just think that this Corbin team, should they get a win next week against Knox Central, can build some momentum. They get Waddle back. I think can go to Wayne County and have a good chance of winning that football game. You're taking on the undefeated Cardinals, I would think. Hayes back to pass across the middle. He's got his man caught by the tight end there, and the ball is almost jostled loose, but a good catch there by number 81. That is new player in the game for. Let me get that kid's name on the radio here because he just made a heck of a play. If I can find number 81 on my makeshift roster here. Tanner Davis. Tanner Davis' first catch of the night. Boy, he took a pretty good shot from Rasmus, too, and they take him off the he comes off the field, but a great catch that time by Davis. Rasmus hammered him. He kind of juggled the ball but held on to it. So first and 10 for Casey County, working from the Corbin 35. 2:20 to go in the game. Corbin on top, 49-7, just a matter of getting this one in the books. Back to throw is Hayes, lobs it down the middle of the field, incomplete. Tangled up out there with Rasmus was the intended receiver, Eads. No call on the play. That was an uncatchable pass anyway. So if you're home and if you're warm and you got your internet fired up, maybe you could get on there and see who won that Henry County and Elizabethtown game, or it may not be over yet. I would suspect it probably is. This has been a very long game here tonight, especially with the extended halftime. I have an idea who Corbin plays in that first round of the playoffs. Hayes working out of the shotgun, takes it, fires off the left side, pass almost intercepted, knocked away there on number 25. That's a great play by Dylan Brock. He's been all over the field here tonight defensively. I'd like to remind everybody, stay tuned for our wrap-up show, sponsored by Tri-County Sporting Goods. Mike Haggard and all the good folks out there at Tri-County, all your embroidery needs. We'll take care of all that for you out there at Tri-County Sporting Goods. And then Froyo Players of the Game, both offensive and defensive players, sponsored by Froyo Frozen Yogurt Trademark Shopping Center. We'll have all that coming up for you right after the game. And it will be a very quick wrap-up, I can promise you. Here's a handoff left side to Bishop. He spins free of a tackle in the backfield and then works his way out to about the 34-yard line. We'll bring up fourth down and about 9 for Casey County. Clock continues to run. 42 seconds left to go in the game. Now down to 40. They're going to have to hurry to get another play. But Casey's going to take a timeout, trailing 49-7 here with 37 seconds to go. You got to, hey, you got to admire them. They're playing right to the last horn here. Head coach Sam Marple's got them all gathered around him out there, and going to draw a play up in the dirt and see if they can score one here. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors again tonight for everything that they do to help get us on the air, and many of these guys these folks have been with us for many, many years sponsoring Redhound Sports. And have not said hello to our number one fan out there yet tonight, Mary Foley. We certainly appreciate her listening. Hope she's still tuned in. She may have tuned us off by now since this game's been well out of hand for a while. I'd like to say hello to Mary if she is listening. We appreciate her tuning us in every week. Casey back out on the line. They're going to run the reverse. Now they flip it back to Eads. He's going to fire it down the right side. Pass incomplete. Well defended out there by Parker. as he stepped in and knocked that ball away. They ran an end around, flipped it to the end. Number 21 Randall, he fired it down the left side, intended out there for Bishop. Incomplete, but now there's a flag down on the play, and they're going to call roughing the passer here with 26 seconds to go. I guess the officials must not be cold. Well, 25 minutes. They're going to let the clock continue to run. Casey's going to have to hurry. Boy, they marched it all the way down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Hayes steps up under center. Leaves it off with Bishop. He turns to the right side. He's got a running lane. Touchdown, Casey County. Bishop runs it in from 19 yards out, and Casey County is on the board again. No flags on the play, so 49-13. Clock's going to run down 2 seconds, 1 second. That's going to be it. I don't know whether they'll kick the extra point or not. I don't believe they're going to. They're going to shake hands, and that will be it. So the final score, 49-13. Corbin gets the better of Casey County here tonight. Hounds improve their record to 7-2 on the year. Casey County falls to 1-8 on the season. We'll pause for a short time out, then be back to wrap things up here from Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107.